perfect. You are whole and complete. There are no mistakes. We are not victims. This is The Psychology of Spirit with your host, AuKeeRa Rayne. Feel empowered. This program will provide a forum to bring a refreshing view on life. And now, here's AuKeeRa Rayne.
Hi, welcome once again to The Psychology of Spirit. I am AuKeeRa Rayne. What is our life purpose? It's something that's tossed around on a regular basis. Where are we supposed to be going? Who are we? What goals are we working towards? How do I get there? It's an interesting thought. When we're first born, we're here experiencing our world. We're doing the best that we can each and every second. We're working on eating, learning how to communicate with the people around us, learning how to walk. Everything's fascinating to us. We're so excited about life. As we grow older and start school, we are told we need to study and get good grades. We need to be responsible. We need to learn how to take care of ourselves, learn how to be polite and function in society, and do the best that we can, no matter what. Most of the time, our parents do a really good job, but a lot of times what we start hearing is what we're doing is not quite good enough. Parents are meant to push us. That's their job. And the ego is meant to make us an individual. That's its job. Our parents push us to the best of their ability to become the best people that we can be. And pretty soon we are asked, so what do you want to be when you grow up? And we start to get visions in our head of being a policeman, a fireman, a veterinarian, a stuntman, even though we have absolutely no idea what that looks like. Little girls get asked, so do you want to be a mummy one day? Do you want to get married? Life purpose. Soon we start to lose ourselves in a sea of expectations placed upon us by others, including the society that we live in. Where does that leave us? A lot of times, it just leaves us working really hard to get to be where we think we're supposed to be and get there to the best of our ability. We are taught we need to set goals, so as we go through our career, as we go through our school life, we are working towards finding out what the career will be after we're done our school career. What am I going to do when I grow up? I need to make money for my family. And the whole thing is that this is absolutely true. Our world does work on cash. That's the reality of it. If you want to live in a place and you want to be able to pay your bills, you do need to have a job, and we're all very much aware of this. But then we start to decide that life should be bigger than this, that there must be some huge purpose. We must be here for some reason. What is that reason? Let's digress for a second. Let's look at goal setting. Goal setting is a very important thing to do in life. What it really does is it helps us open our mind to the possibilities that are out there for us. If you are in high school and listening to this show, if you think about all the things that you might be able to do when you grow up, it allows you to take your mind there. If you go and do the research, it shows you that it's possible, and possibly how to make a plan to get there. It doesn't just stop, though, when we're in high school. Life has changed so much that we have to remember that a lot of times now we work 2 to 3 jobs, have 2 to 3 careers in a lifetime. It's not like what it used to be. So if you allow yourself to set a goal for yourself, the one thing to be cautioned of is to holding on to the outcome. A lot of times the universe has a lot of different things for us in store. If we set a goal and decide that we're going to make that goal no matter what, we miss all the things that we're gifted along the path while we're getting there. And trust me, it's usually the journey that is the gift, not the goal. Yes, it is good to set goals, But once you're focused on them, let them go. And pay attention to what you're actually doing. Be appreciative of what you're actually getting. Okay, let's say you get into university and your goal is to end up a veterinarian. As you're going through all the twists and turns of studying and learning, don't decide you're a victim. Yes, it's hard. It is hard. It's going to be hard. But decide you're doing the best that you can, and your goal at the end of it all is to be a vet. But let's say partway through you find out it's not for you. So did you waste that time? Are you really going to decide that what you did was waste your time? No. Take a step back and reevaluate what you're doing. You see, if we hold on to our goals so tight, we decide we're failures again. That it's not good enough. Oh, well, you said you're going to be a vet, but you didn't be a vet. Well, maybe you weren't meant to be a vet. Well, now I don't know what to do. That's where you come in asking you. You have to step back and say, well, what feels good? And sometimes the answer is, I don't know. Well, then I'm not doing anything, AuKeeRa. Yes, but you're still alive and you're still living, and even though it might feel hopeless, whether you like it or not, you still have your own answer. Well, okay, I'm going to take a year off school then. Okay, so if you decide to take a year off your life in some way, shape, manner, or form, you have to make that year worth taking off. Number one, you can't go spend money you don't have. Number two, you have to make sure that you're appreciative that you have the year off and that you're not running from something. Remember, this is all mindset stuff. And it all hinges on not being attached to an outcome. If we always attached ourselves to the outcome, most of the time we will not reach our goal in our set time. And if we do reach the goal in our set time, we will usually sabotage at some point after that. Why on earth would we do that? Because we have the egos involved. So then what does that look like? If we break it down to really small things, every morning it looks like this. If you wake up and you plan your day and say, well, today I need to get this, this, and this done. Set out upon your day with those things in the back of your mind working towards getting them done. However, if you get in a car accident on the way to where you're going, don't decide that you did something wrong or that wasn't meant to happen. Teach yourself to go with the ebb and flow of life and not decide that everything's a problem. The universe is in control of it more than we are in control of it, and we have to remember that and be grateful for the experiences. When you get home and you say, well, I didn't get done my list, you have to immediately tell yourself, I'll get it done tomorrow. For those of you that think you're procrastinators, be very aware that often you set it up too much so that you can't succeed in the amount of stuff that you've given yourself to do that day. You purposely set yourself up for failure on a daily basis so that you can't reach the goals that you've set up. So you can prove to yourself, yes, look at that, I am indeed a procrastinator. A lot of times we look at things and we look at them so monumentally, we say, I just can't do it. Take, for instance, spring cleaning or fall cleaning of your house. If you look at the house as a whole, it looks very daunting. If you say to yourself, I'm giving myself 6 months, and I'm going to work one closet at a time, trust me, you'll get it done. But when you tell yourself, well, I have to get it all done in 2 weeks, and if I don't get it done, well, then I'm never going to get it done. For one, it's not true. You know you have time. You know you can get it done. We have to work with ourselves, not constantly run over ourselves. The goals have to stay open-ended. One day I hope to do this. Then start setting a way to do it. Do the research. If you find out it's not for you, at least you took a look and took a chance. Remember, when dealing with reality perception, the more ideas we can get into our head, the more open mind we have, and the more open we are to the possibilities at hand. A lot of us are so desperate to get to our futures, we've totally looked past our total here and now. But again, our society does work on goals, and all parents teach their children to have them. And I am saying that is a good thing. I'm simply saying teach yourself also not to be attached to the outcome of that goal. Let's say you want to open a new business. You have a great idea for a new business. The first thing you do is you start to research. Start to make hundreds and thousands of notes of what it would look like, what you would carry, how much it would cost. Do the research. At the same time, keep in mind why you're doing it. If you do it for you, find all the things that you want to add that maybe you wouldn't have thought of. Well, everybody else does it this way and that seems to work. Well, you're not everybody else. Find what works for you. If in the 6 months it took you to research the business, you decide that you don't want to open one, some people will say, well, I was a fool. I wasted all that time. No, you didn't, because you found out something very important about yourself. You found out about you, that it's not for you. And now you have all the facts. A lot of times we want something so bad, we don't take a realistic view of the possibility. We make it into this fantasy setting that, it will work out no matter what we do. And yes, remember, there are no mistakes. But if you give yourself a chance to actually look objectively at it, to actually immerse yourself in it, ask yourself what you want, put yourself in the driver's seat, rather than jump the gun and just go, you will find you take an eyes wide open point of view. When we have our eyes wide open and we know we're getting into something on purpose, we are no longer victims of our lives. So you research the business, you find out what you want, you find exactly what it's going to look like, you find the location, you haven't signed the lease yet, you've got the business name, and suddenly you realize you will never make money. No matter what way you cut it, you will never get a personal income from your business. Now, we all know there's a whole pile of us that would still go and open that business because we said we were going to. We don't want to look like failures. But how smart is that? We just told ourselves that no matter what, I could go bankrupt because I opened this business. I will not get paid for my time. Oh, it's not about money. Remember, if you want to live in this society today, it costs money. It doesn't make you less of a person to just back down and say, you know what? That's not going to work for me. Well, how come? I thought you were so excited about the business. I did my research and I just found it's not going to bring me what I wanted it to bring me. I needed to bring me peace of mind. You know, when we learn to work smart in our world, we learn what kind of budget we want to live in. We learn how much we have to earn to get there. And sometimes, yes, we have to work a job for just a job. And that's the other thing. When we're looking at our purpose, why does our job have to be more than a job? We'll talk about our jobs in just 1 second.